Hello, I hope you're doing well today. My name is Josh and I'm part of the customer success team over at CoreReserve, and this video is going to go over Player Matchmaker. If you have any questions on this video or the setup in general, please feel free to reach out over to our live chat. That's going to be this green icon in the top right corner. So to get started, we'll want to go over to Settings on the sidebar, and then we'll want to go down over to the add-ons, and then if we click on Manage Add-ons, we will see the free add-on for Player Matchmaker. Once you enable this add-on, you'll get the setup button, and this will take you over to the setup page. So here I'll just go over all of these different settings. We have the public reservation types that are eligible for Player Matchmaker. So these will be the reservation types where members have the option to make it an open reservation. We can also restrict open reservations to specific courts. So if there are only certain courts at your facility that you would like to have the option for open reservations, we can select that here as well. We can allow gender and age restriction. Enabling this setting is going to give the option for members. So if you allow this, members will be able to pick if it's a men's only, if it's a women's only match, or they can choose no gender restriction for their specific reservation that they are making. Same with the age restrictions here. So this is going to just give the member the option of setting up that restriction. We can also choose the allowed rating categories for Player Matchmaker. So if you have certain rating categories that you don't want to be able to make open reservations, you can select that here. And then with the allow member group restriction, this is going to be very similar. This is going to allow players to restrict matches to certain member groups that they are in. If we allow private matches, this will allow members to create a private match, which in that case they will create a 4-digit code, and each member that is added to that reservation will need to put in that code in order to join that reservation. We can also choose the maximum amount of open reservations that your facility will allow per day. So this will just be that maximum amount of open reservations that you will allow at your entire organization. We also have allow open reservations to be editable. This is going to be an independent setting from your regular reservation settings. So even if you don't allow reservations to be edited on the member side, you can allow open reservations to be editable, and this will allow the member to only edit their reservation if it is an open reservation. We can also include an open reservations menu option on the member portal. What this is going to do is it's going to add an open reservations page under the reservations header link on your member portal. So if we go over to the member portal, go over to reservations, if we have that setting turned on, we will have an open reservation section right here. And then next we have the navigation menu name. So if you would like this to be something like find a player rather than open reservations, you can change what the name of this page is going to be on the member portal. Next we can set up our match types. These do not need to be enabled. We can disable this altogether during the setup. But if you would like members to be able to pick whether or not this reservation is going to be more of a practice match or a competitive match, you can give the option of allowing members to put that information on their open reservation. We can also require the match type if you would like to do that as well. And then every time a member makes an open reservation, they'll have to select one of these match types. If you are a facility that has both tennis and pickleball, we can also set up your sport types. Again, if you only have one sport at your facility, we can disable this altogether. But when you enable this, this will give members the option of picking, if they're playing tennis or if they're playing pickleball in the specific reservation. So now we can go over to the player restrictions. This is going to be where all of those parameters are set up on the membership level. So here the first setting is going to be, can they create an open reservation? So if you only have certain memberships that you would like to allow to create open reservations, this would be where you want to enable this setting here. We also have the maximum number of open reservations per player. So this is just going to be a per player restriction of how many reservations or open reservations that they can make. and have actively open. You can also allow certain member types to join open reservations. So maybe you have a guest membership that you do not want to have creating open reservations, but you'd like them to be able to join them. That would be what this setting is for here. So they can be added to an open reservation, but they cannot create them themselves. Next, we have two settings that are pretty important to this setup. So the first one is cancel reservation X hours before start if it is not filled up. So this is going to be related to when the reservation starts. For example, if we have this set to 24 hours, this reservation is going to cancel a day before the start time if the minimum or maximum amount of players required for this reservation does not get filled up. So if we have a reservation type and the minimum is 4 players, but I only have 3 players on the reservation 24 hours before the reservation starts, the reservation is automatically going to cancel. Cancel reservation X hours after creation if not filled up is going to be kind of similar, but this is going to be related to when the reservation was created rather than when the reservation starts. So if we have this set to 48 hours, this would mean that members have 48 hours to fill up all of those open spots after they create the reservation, or it's going to be canceled. Alright, so now I'm on the member portal and I will show you how you can set up an open reservation from the member's perspective. So now with that set up, we can see that there is going to be an open reservations page. This was from one of those earlier settings brought up at the beginning of this video. So any active open reservations are going to show up on this page for your members. There's going to be some filters here, so members can filter by sport, by match type, tennis ratings, dates, time of day, things like that. Most of these filters are going to be on regular reservations as well. But if we go over to the scheduler, let me find a date where I can schedule a reservation. Alright, so now I'm on the reservation page. When I select a reservation type that is eligible for Player Matchmaker, you will now see a Is Open Reservation checkbox here. And when I click on that, we're going to get all of the criteria for this specific reservation. So here, all of these required fields are going to be those fields that we required over on the setup page. So here, sport type is required for me. We can also choose the match type here. And again, these two settings are going to depend on if you have enabled this field here. Again, you can disable these completely if they're not going to be useful at your facility. Same with the gender restriction. So since I allowed it, members are going to have the option to say male, female, mixed, or no gender restrictions at all for this reservation. Any rating restrictions the member would like to put up, they can put here. And then next we have the minimum and maximum players. The minimum and maximum players that are set here are going to have to be within the minimum and maximum that you have for this reservation type. So for tennis singles, for example, if I had a minimum of 2 players and a maximum of 4 players, a member would not be able to come in and say, for my reservation, I want a maximum of 8 players. They would have to be within the minimum and maximum for the reservation type itself. Here are also those age restrictions if the member would like to set that up. And then we also have what to expect in this match. This will just be a quick little description for other members to see when they are looking at open reservations that are currently active. Here is that private match button. So if this is going to be a group of 4 people and the player just doesn't know the other 3 players yet, but they want it to be kind of within their friend group, they can make this a private match and then create a code to give to the other players once they decide that they would like to join this reservation. Alright, and then once a reservation has been started and created, if it's an open reservation, you'll get a little open icon over here. Let me go back so we can see that again. So here we'll see a little open button, and then we'll also see that minimum and maximum player range for this open reservation. If we go over to the details of this reservation, you'll be able to see the amount of spots that are filled, how much time until this reservation expires, and then anything like match type, reservation type, sport type will show up here on the details page as well. Alright, and that goes over the setup of Player Matchmaker and looks into how open reservations work on the member portal. Again, if you have any questions on this setup or on this video, please feel free to reach out over to our live chat. That's going to be this green icon in the top right corner. Alright, hope you have a good day. Bye-bye.